Hey everyone, and I've now almost fully completed Pokemon Scarlet, so I feel as though now is the right time to review the game in full. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the very first fully open world Pokemon games, with Sword and Shield slightly dipping their toes into a constricted wild areas, if you guys remember those. Pokemon's new Paldea region is fully explorable, with the map that only cuts away into loading screens, with the main area in the middle being Mesagoza, Area 0 and when you enter smaller buildings. However, this new open world came at a cost. The Nintendo Switch is slowly showing its age with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, having glaring performance issues. I'm sure you've all seen the memes, clips and videos online. The games frequently fluctuate between 30 to below 10 frames, fluctuating into even like 5 or 6 at times on Switch. Other issues include screen tearing, Pokemon jumping off cliffs and just generally clipping into rocks in the grass, the camera glitching out when entering buildings and also glitching out on slopes during battles when zooming in and out, and many more. If you go on YouTube, just type in Pokemon Scarlet Violet glitches, you'll see loads of funny compilations. It's brilliant. These performance issues, however, made it really hard to play the game, but I'm not excusing the general state of these games and how they were released, but once I got used to some of these issues and continued on with my adventure in Paldea, I found that this Pokemon game was actually really fun and engaging. For example, the last Pokemon game that I managed to complete the Pokédex in was Pokemon Platinum in 2010 and 2011 when I played it. And as of writing this, I've roughly completed around 90% of the Paldean Pokédex, and I'm having an absolute blast. The main positive for me includes general exploration of the open world, as well as the characters. I loved exploring the Spanish-themed towns and meeting the many gym leaders, side characters, and like the random trainers that you'd encounter. This game's characters are its biggest strength for me, placing them at the forefront in 4 separate campaigns, being Victory Road, Starfall Street, Path of Legends, and a secret 4th one that unlocks once you beat the aforementioned 3 paths. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it in this video at all. I'll do a separate video talking about it completely. So, starting with Victory Road. This is the familiar journey of taking on the 8 gym leaders and the Pokemon League to become champion. The main difference in Scarlet and Violet, however, is that the Pokemon gyms can be taken in any order. This is a step in the right direction and a change that I've wanted for ages, but ultimately this is squandered because the areas in the open world and the gyms don't scale up with your party's overall level, meaning that the gyms must be taken in a general specific order, meaning that the first few gyms can sort of be taken in whatever order you want, as long as you have like a decent team in the teens and 20s. Victory Road is taken alongside a new rival, Nemona, who is a new and interesting take on the overused best friend rival character archetype seen in X and Y, Sun and Moon, etc. She's bubbly, fun and energetic, with a main character highlight being her exaggerated love of Pokemon battles. She loves Pokemon battles more than anything else in the world and will even train you up from a sort of starter trainer all the way to champion just so she can have a rival, which I think is an amazing character arc. Plus, her overall battle theme absolutely slaps. Next up, it's Starfall Street. This tasks you with stopping Team Star who are causing issues at the academy. You can do this by taking on the 5 Team Star bosses to put an end to their plans. I like this story, but this was definitely the weakest out of the 4 paths. The bosses are quite difficult if your team composition is weak, and some Pokemon can even down yours with a couple of hits if you're not prepared typing and leveling wise. Before taking on each boss, however, you must first raid each lair by using the new Let's Go mechanic. The new Let's Go feature allows you to auto battle with Pokemon to finish battles much quicker. However, these parts were way too easy and dragged on, with me finishing each lair within I'd say about 2 minutes each time. Honestly, some I would finish in about 30 seconds to a minute. They are absolutely just way too easy and made the sort of I guess build up to each boss just not worth it. I'd rather just take on, say, like, I don't know, maybe just take on 3 to 5 goons and then take on the boss. I found that the sort of let's go sort of raiding their lair mechanic just was really unnecessary overall. Next up is the Path of Legends. Here you'll be helping another classmate called Arven to find Herba Mystica by battling big boss Pokemon. These Pokemon again are quite tanky and can take a few minutes to down if you're not well equipped. I don't want to spoil the story here, but this was definitely the best out of the 3 main parts in terms of story and the actual storytelling, with a surprisingly touching story involving Arven and his family. Now, don't worry, I won't spoil the post-game here, but I will say this last path unlocks once you have beaten the Pokemon League, the Team Star bosses, and found all of the Herba Mysticas. The last story was one of the best in the series, with a twist that genuinely had me surprised and shocked with the overall narrative. And another new element to battling is also terastallizing your Pokemon. Using a Terra Orb, you can now imbue your Pokemon with Terra types, which will make your Pokemon stronger in battles, and some Pokemon even gain a 3rd type. This made battles really fun and really fresh. My overall takeaway from these games is that except for the overall quality and performance issues both in the frame rate department and general glitches and bugs and things like that, Pokemon is moving in the right direction. I think that the music, exploration and characters were done really well here, with these games sparking the same level of joy as past games have done on the DS. The new Pokemon are really strong this generation, with new and interesting takes on types and creatures that we haven't seen before, such as flamingos. Overall, I'm giving Pokemon Scarlet a 7 out of 10, as the score would have been higher, but the overall quality issues were too big to ignore, which is a shame because these games are really just really fun to play. And these overall glitches and bugs put a huge damper on my playing experience, with frame drops, camera issues and lots more. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you want more reviews, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news and Nintendo news in general, stay subscribed to the channel and like the video. Thank you so much for watching, bye guys.